Hey, BJ finally pulled out to win. Yeah, that's great news, ladies and gentlemen. It was probably a bar fist fight, but let me remind you that he is scheduled to face Nick Lentz. And BJ Penn, he was a former 2 division champion, and believe it or not, he hasn't won for a very, very long period of time. I've got to say he is probably the owner of the longest winless streak in the history of this sport. And BJ Penn, he is actually a guy who simply can't stay out of troubles. I'm sometimes thinking, man, why do you need this? He even took part in one fight earlier, in a bar fight where we didn't know he was in the side control, but we couldn't see what happened. And now the last win came at UFC 123 9 years ago against Matt Hughes, draw against John Fitch at UFC 127, and then losses to Nick Diaz, Rory McDonald, Frankie Edgar, Yair Rodriguez, Dennis Siver, Ryan Hall, and Clay Guida. And now I was talking their levels to BJ Penn when he couldn't get close to reaching rock bottom, but this time maybe it was again ranking BJ Penn, but looking back at the video, I saw he mounted his opponent and he rained some big punches off the top. So yeah, it's BJ Penn's victory. It's from TMZ Sports. UFC legend BJ Penn was involved in another bar fight in Hawaii. This time the 40-year-old was sprawled out on top of another man raining down punches, and TMZ Sports has the video. Penn was at the Lava Shack on the Big Island on Tuesday when he got into it with another dude, and in classic Penn fashion, the fight ended up on the ground. We have a picture of Penn at the bar earlier in the night. You can see the clothing is the same, and unclear what started the fight, but we're told law enforcement responded to the scene. It does not appear Penn was arrested, and cops say they have no record so far. So you know what? I'm finally happy because yeah, BJ Penn pulled out to win, and that's great. BJ Penn finally won, and I hope he will transition this aggression to the ring and defeat Nick Lentz finally. Yeah. So congrats BJ. Motivated BJ might be long gone, but BJ returns and bounces back in an amazing style. It's just a great BJ Penn. But no! BJ didn't win. Maybe he did in the end, but in a dirty way. Because I found something very, very intriguing. A report from TMZ Sports, and I also found a video where you can see that BJ Penn was knocked out heavily, and it was a pretty much strong strike that sent the former 2 division champion to the canvas. Well, here is a report from TMZ Sports. TMZ Sports has obtained new footage showing BJ Penn getting knocked out when the fight spilled into the street. You can see Penn edging the other guy on, the same guy from our first video, and when BJ's opponent throws a left hook, it connects flush with Penn's chin, sending him crumpling to the ground, arms sprawled. We're told knockout in the street came first, and later on BJ re-engaged, tackling the guy from behind and knocking him down. We spoke to the other combatant who tells us he was hit with a cheap shot, and that's why Penn was able to mount him. But when they squared up face to face, BJ Penn went down. Holy shit, man, I don't know what happened. Just don't trash BJ Penn, please. He pulled out the win, guys. BJ Penn pulled out the win. I mean, come on, guys. Don't trash this wonderful former champ.